What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball. This is a continuation of my last video where I'm talking about a potential breakout player for every single NBA team. Meaning guys that we think that are going to be either given the opportunity or we just think that they're ready to take the next jump in their career and they're going to start to impress all of us on a whole new level. That's goal number one of this video. At least goal number two of this video is finish this video before my Domino's pizza gets here. I apparently have about 25 minutes before that happens, so let's get into it. But hey, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. I've responded to every single comment on my YouTube channel up to this point, and I intend to keep on doing so. Let's do it. So hey, in the last video we did the Atlantic and the Central. Today we're going to do the Southeast and the Northwest divisions respectively. And hey, like when you guys are in the comments and stuff, like this is a great video for you guys to share your opinions. There's not a wrong answer for this for breakout players. Like maybe there's some that are more obvious than others, but like if y'all believe in somebody hard enough, like please let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear about it. So the first team we got here is the Atlanta Hawks, and I think the most obvious person, I still can't believe some of these players are on this team, honestly. Like how does DeAndre Hunter not been traded? Clint Capella, it's 7/27, by the way. You guys might see this a week from now, in all honesty. I'm bulk recording a bunch of things. Go watch my channel update video. There's a bunch of stuff happening in August. You want to understand everything that's going on, most likely. But I'm going to go with Jalen Johnson for this one. And look, already was an MIP candidate and stuff last year. I think he could take another step this year, especially with guys like DeJounte Murray now off the team. Like somebody else has got to pick up some of the scoring. Obviously, Reese Shea is on the team. That's probably to Jalen Johnson's benefit. Reese Shea is a pretty good passer. He plays the game pretty smart. There's going to be there's going to be more opportunity for Jalen Johnson to go out there and try to get you 20 points a night, and I think that he can do so. I think this is going to give him more ball handling opportunities. Once Trae Young comes out of the game, who's really the next ball handler on this team? I'd be curious to see what Johnson can do with that. Is the three-point shot going to continue to increase, right? Because we were only hitting 35, which is good, but can we improve upon that? There's going to be extra spacing hopefully this year, so I'm curious to see it nonetheless. I'm excited about Jalen Johnson. I've actually seen him work out up close and personal before. We're both Wisconsin dudes, so very, very curious to watch him play this year, and I think that we could see a 20-point-a-game Jalen Johnson this year. Next up, we have the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I actually have two names that I want to bring up for this one. The first one is Brandon Miller. I think that one's pretty simple. I think we all saw how good he was as a rookie, and it got overshadowed by the fact that he was one on the Hornets and two Victor Wembanyama versus Chet Holmgren was going on. But Brandon Miller was really, really impressive, and he's only continuing to build on that. It looks like in Summer League he was pretty comfortable, in all honesty. There's a reason they didn't play him too much in that one. Him getting to play against some of the guys during the summer that I've noticed, I'm excited about him in that shot-making creativity. But honestly, I want to see Tre Mann a little bit more. Tre Mann is somebody that I'm going to be honest, I didn't see a bunch of him when he was in OKC. When he got to Charlotte and I started watching him, I'm like, okay, there's some shot creation here. There are some solid ball handling and some solid defensive skills in here. If given the opportunity, what can Tre Mann do? And honestly, is he the starting two guard this year for them? I'll be curious. An extra ball handler on the team, hopefully somebody that can continue to build on what was a good three-point shooting time in Charlotte. So I don't know. I'm very curious to say the least. Is he better off as a point guard or as a two? I don't necessarily know. Is he more of a combo guard? If LaMelo Ball goes down with injuries and Tre Mann becomes your point guard, you got Micic on the team too, but is Tre Mann able to turn into something? He's only 23 years old. I think he's going to be given the opportunity to turn into something really interesting this year in Charlotte, and I hope he's given the chance to have the ball a little bit and try to create some offense, because I think we can go somewhere with it. All right, next up, the Miami Heat. Probably a couple ones that you could easily kind of point out for this one, maybe even a Haywood Highsmith could continue to be one that you are liking, but let's be real, Jaime Jaquez Jr. getting to play on the Team USA Select team, that's always a big thing for players' development when they get to do stuff like that. I do wish that Team USA would go back to how they used to do it, where they'd kind of bring out even more players and they'd kind of make them try out for the team more so. I don't know. I think that'd be better for them. But I'm actually going to give it to Nikola Jovic. I think positionally, they're going to need him a little bit more, and floor spacing wise, they're going to need him just a little bit more. And as he continues to play overseas ball, and again, playing throughout the summer and stuff like that, you hope that the skills continue to build and build and build, and he starts to gain some confidence. But I mean, even getting to start in a lot of the playoff instances last year, just again, a lot of injuries and stuff like that, but that's all great experience. He's got the ability to put the ball on the floor a little bit. We know he can shoot a little bit. If we take a look at some of these stats last year, 163 three-pointers, shot 40% from three. That's interesting, man. That's really interesting. Having a guy like that next to Bam is always going to be a good thing if he can continue to move off ball and create some open looks for some of those guys to get towards the paint. I really like the fit of it, and I think he can continue to build into something. The Heat are just so good developmentally. Like, this just seems like the type of dude that's going to continue to get better. He's really tough-minded. So, like, if you said Jaime Jaquez, I'd totally be with you on that one too, but I think Jovic is going to take even more of a leap. That doesn't mean he's going to be better than Jaquez. I'm just saying he's going to take more of a leap. All right, the Orlando Magic are up next. This one I've been really excited to talk about, and that's Jet Howard. I'm going to keep it real with you. Jet Howard coming into the NBA last year, wasn't too excited about him in all honesty. Like, I thought he was interesting. I was like, okay, the height and the shooting is kind of cool. I'm like, his handle's kind of weak. So, like, what? We're going to have a really tall wing that can hopefully shoot. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure I see so much more of that. I'm not sure I see anything more than that that's really all that interesting. But actually, I watched him in Summer League, and we don't overreact to Summer League ever. But there were some things that I saw that I think could be interesting if translated correctly to the NBA, and it's his off-ball movement. They had him in the Orlando Summer League, like, running off of screens, like, really coming off there, and it's not like he was just doing, like, set shots and hitting them. Like, he's coming off, catch, fadeaway three, like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson type things, getting himself really well set. The form looks good. The release is quick. He was knocking down them threes. And then he's getting out in transition. He's running. He's being a good athlete. He's still not able to really create for himself, from what I saw in that brief instance. And again, we don't have much film to go off of him last year. He hardly played. You see the 1 point a game last year, like, is what it is. But Orlando needs shooting. They need shooting really, really bad. So if you can get an athletic shooter out there that can run off some of these actions and create, like, some sort of gravity to take attention off of Paolo and Franz and Suggs and them boys, like, now we got something in this 20-year-old, right? And so I hope that they find a way to continue to translate that into him, because he looked really fluid going through those. It looks like he was really putting in the reps with those in this offseason, so I hope that we can continue to see it. There's still a lot of room to grow, but I feel really good about Jet Howard. Alrighty, the Washington Wizards. Oh boy, not a ton of great developmental stories coming out of here ever. Sorry, Johnny Davis. Sorry, Patrick Baldwin Jr. I wish it was going to be better. They got some interesting rookies on the team. I like Vukacic a lot, and he's not even technically on the roster as of right now, so I'm not actually sure what's going on with that. But I think the name has to be Coulibaly, right? We saw a lot of really promising things out of Coulibaly in his rookie season. We saw somebody that played the game incredibly smart, especially when everything else around him was not looking very smart. You saw his ability to play without the basketball look really good. The defensive instincts, you could tell he was picking them up really, really quickly. That's really encouraging to see. Where did the three-point shot finish off? I know it wasn't bad. Yeah, 34%, 35%. We take that in a rookie, 100%. He's getting to play with the French national team this offseason. He's going to get some solid burn with them, so you hope that he's just going to get more and more opportunities to kind of prove himself. And even last year, like, his finishing at the rim was not bad at all, and for, like, how slight his frame is right now, like, as he continues to bulk out and fill into that as a 20-year-old, like, it's going to get easier and easier for him. So you like to think that you can take the just general basketball intelligence that you saw out of him this year, pile that on with just him getting the reps in the offseason, getting to play overseas with some really smart players, and the fact that there should be a need with Denny not on the team anymore for him to get some good burns. So I feel good about Coulibaly. Next up, the Denver Nuggets, and I know Nuggets fans are like, please, please let there be some good development, because, man, it's not looking good on the bench otherwise. I know all of you guys hate Jalen Pickett. That's not who I'm picking. Just be nicer to the guy, please. just please. Like, there's a lot of interesting guys on this team that it could be. Hopefully it's like a Zeke Naji or something like that. Trey Alexander's a rookie, and Deron Holmes is obviously hurt, but those two looked interesting enough as is. Like, is it a Hunter Tyson? Is it a Peyton Watson? Is it Christian Brown? I think it's, nope, I did not mean to click Jalen Pickett. I am so sorry about that. I think it's Julian Strawther. In very limited spurts last year, we saw some really interesting things out of Julian Strawther. He went into the Summer League. He looked much more polished again, and it looks like he's building upon himself and building upon his nice frame and size. I think that he could come in and be the two guard for this team this year. I really do. And this is one that I believe in just a little bit more than a lot of the other ones that I'm talking about. I just kind of see the little glimmer in him for whatever it is. Just like there's a little bit of coaching hope in me that I'm like, there's something I can pull out of this guy. Like, I know the three-point shot wasn't good last year. It was just about 30%. Not horrible at the end of the day for a rookie, but like, I feel like with the right development and the right guys around him, which this team has, they could do something with this guy. He can be the 3-and-D player that comes in and really makes an instant impact for a team that's struggling to find any semblance of depth on the team. And I think that he could work himself into like an MIP conversation this year. So I'm really big on Julian Strother. Where are we at with dominoes? My driver, Derek, is on the way. Okay, let's go through it. Minnesota Timberwolves, we're on the clock now. We're going with Naz Reid even more. Naz Reid needs to be on the court even more this year. He just needs to. Like, he's the perfect balance between Cat and Gobert. Like, I say you decrease both of their minutes a little bit so that Naz Reid can play more, because he fits well next to both of them in some capacity, right? He can either play good defense for you, he can be a floor spacer around Gobert. It's a perfect fit for them both. Naz Reid, for those of you in Minneapolis like I am, he's a folk hero, right? Dude's just a folk hero. He just does so much for this team in so many ways, and the energy that he brings. If he continues to build on what he's already done with his ball handling, like, I think you could have like somewhat of another like secondary ball handler in him. I know that seems like a stretch, but I don't necessarily think so. I think the skills are very much there, and the athleticism and the coordination and some of the, like I said, the ball handling you've already seen. Still only 24 years old. He's just a bit younger than me. That's crazy. Wait, is he? Yes, that's true. He's just a bit younger than me, just a couple months. But no, absolutely crazy. I really think Naz Reid can turn into something even greater than where he already is as 6th man of the year. Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't have to think about this one too much. Where is he? Where is he? There he is, the boy himself, Jalen Williams. Bold prediction? Bold prediction. I think Jalen Williams could be an all-star this year. I said it. I think he can be an all-star this year. I think that's the next step in his progression. I think they've gone and they've added good pieces around him that'll continue to support him in his growth. But already in his 2nd season, one of the best transition players we've got, one of the best finishers we have, can go out and guard a bunch of different positions. Where are we at with the 3-point shot nowadays? It's, oh, I was going to say 39. We're at 42, 43%. Oh my goodness. Like, as he continues to add more and more counters to his game, because right now it's still a little bit basic, but he's young, right? And the system is basic. But like, as he continues to build upon those and those, and you know he's learning them, because guys like Shea are on the team and he's seeing them every day, and somebody's telling Shea to do it. So somebody's going to be teaching J-Dub how to do it. He's just so gifted and he's so smart and he plays with so much energy. I can see J-Dub being an all-star this year. I'm saying it right now. I think he could be that. He's the guy. All right, I'm running out of time. We got to do this. We're on the clock. Who's it going to be for the Portland Trailblazers? I'm looking. It's going to be Scoot Henderson. It's going to be Scoot Henderson. 2nd year, there's still stupid amount of talent in there. And we figured out something by the end of the year with Scoot Henderson. He can play the pick and roll incredibly well. That's one thing that he really excelled at. And the team was just garbo around him. Like, shame on Portland for putting together a roster like this that just didn't make any sort of sense for drafting this guy with all this potential and everything. You still got 14 points and 5 assists out of him. I don't care about the efficiency right now, right? We don't care about it. And even still, got himself up to 32% from 3. So if we continue to build on that, he's a physical freak. He obviously sees the game pretty well. Hopefully they can find a way to kind of supplement him with some better pieces. I wish they'd move Ayton out of the way. I'm excited that they have Klingon around him. I think Scoot and Klingon could be the start of something really, really cool. Maybe him with Shaedon Sharpe. You got something interesting to kind of build around with a lot of potential. So I like that. I'm curious how like Simons is going to take away some of his touches and ball handling opportunities, because you want Scoot with the ball as much as possible right now to kind of help his growth. But I don't think it's any stretch to say that we think Scoot Henderson could elevate himself to a 17, 18 point a game scorer this year. It's going to be hard. They're probably going to be the worst team in basketball this year, but I really like Scoot. Oh my God, there's one team left, and I know Domino's is going to call me at any second now. I hope this is putting anxiety in you guys like it's putting in me right now. It's not going to be Walker Kessler. Is it going to be Keontae Jordan? No, we're going to give it to Taylor Hendricks. You know what? Screw it. We're going to give it to Taylor Hendricks, because we saw at least points last year where we started to see why they took him in the lottery. There was at least a couple glimmers where like, okay, there's a little bit of something here and here, and Utah cares about their development. They do. They're not just going to give up on a guy like this. Like, that's not how they do things. Ended up getting 143 point shots up. Hit 38% of them. What's going on? What's going on? Derek's pulling up right now. Oh my gosh. Taylor Hendricks, really, really good basketball player. I think he's going to be even better this year. I know he didn't get a lot of burn this year, and they still have the Walker Kessler, John Collins, Lowry Markkanen thing going on, but hopefully he can be a spacing defensive kind of 4 for them this year. Maybe they trade John Collins at some point and he gets even more burn, but I don't see why he wouldn't get a good chance to succeed this year. But all right, those are my guys. I fit this video in 25 minutes. They're going to call any second now. But hey, appreciate you guys for watching as always. Part 3 will be out not too long after this one. And seriously, thank you guys for watching as always, and we'll talk to you later. And also, leave me a comment. Who do you think is going to develop? Thanks. Bye.